Everybody ready? Come on, let's go.
The Rick Thorne Show! Let's go! The Rick Thorne Show! Let's go!
Yo, welcome to the show. My name's Rick Thorne. This week, I have a special guest, a good homie, freestyle motocross rider, business owner, podcaster himself, Mr. Colin Scummy Morrison. What's up, dude? What are you doing?
What's up, Rick? Just driving around, going to work right now, man. Driving through Westlake. It's crazy. All the fires, man. It looks like a war zone out here.
You guys are safe, though, right?
Yeah, I was in Moore Park. It was like pretty much all the surrounding cities, which were like just a few miles away. But yeah, you know, we were staying busy with a shooting. You know, that was so crazy. That was a bar that we go to all the time. And dude, my mother-in-law was there the night before that happened. It was just so crazy. It really hit so close to home when it happened that close. And then, the next day I loaded up my work truck. I was passing out fire extinguishers to homes that needed them. We actually put out fire close to this one mansion. So, yeah, you know, just getting out there trying to help out as much as I can, man. It's really gnarly out here right now.
Yeah, it's been crazy, man. I mean, it's like one thing after another. I mean, do you ever remember this many fires before? I don't.
Dude, you know what? I was thinking that same thing the other day. And last year, the same time was the fires up in Santa Barbara. Those were huge, but I don't think it was the fires were more in the hills at that time. You know, I don't even know. Do you remember those fires? I think it actually did burn down a bunch of homes.
Yeah, no, because they had the Ventura fires and then Santa Clarita and then now Malibu and Simi and I just don't remember there ever being that many fires. It's just crazy. Or shootings.
Yeah, the shootings, I don't know what to say about that, man. Me and my dad were talking about that. And, dude, there's really no such thing as, like, mass shootings back in the day. And it just seems like the past 15 years, it's just happening every week, man. I don't know why. It's so disgusting. And, you know, I don't even know what to say about it. Like, how do you stop these shootings, man? It's crazy. Like, that guy that just did the shootings at Borderline, dude, he was a Marine. He was a dude our age. It's just, you just don't know, man. It's to the point you don't know going to like a concert if you're even going to come out of there alive. And it's a very disgusting time in our life right now where you even have to think about that going to a concert or going to wherever, you know. So it's really tragic, and, you know, I just don't know what to say. What do you do? How do you stop this, you know?
You never know what's going on in somebody's mind, that's for sure.
People say, you know, the guns and all that, but the way I look at that, it's like drugs, dude. It's heroin. Heroin's illegal, but you can get it anywhere. If they took all the guns away in California, if a bad guy wants to do something, he's going to get that gun, you know? So what do? You know? Overall, it's tragic, and it's just, you know, my heart and prayers go out to everybody out there right now that was affected. And, dude, like, I heard a few people, they were at the Route 91 concert in Vegas, and then they were at Borderline. And, you know, I mean, could you imagine that? And one of the guys that died, he was at Route 91, the mass shooting in Vegas, and then he got killed at this shooting. I mean, that's just so mind-boggling. You know, just trying to wrap your head around that. How it's just so sickening, man. I don't know, man. It's dude, heart's racing right now just thinking about that, dude.
Yeah, that is very insane. Being at both, yeah,
man. So
I wanted to call to talk to you about a number of things that you have going on. On my show, I like to just get to know people and let the people get to know you. And I want to inspire people to, like, you know, think back to those days where you're dreaming about being sponsored or pursuing your dreams. And I like to hear stories from people, like, you know, why they got involved with, you know, say in your case, freestyle motocross. Tell me, how did that happen? Because you were at the beginning of freestyle motocross.
Dude, the whole freestyle thing, I think really it was just the right time, the right place. As a kid, did baseball, soccer, really didn't know where. Just really didn't have a passion, I guess. And then my dad took me to Mickey Thompson off-road race in Anaheim Stadium. It It wasn't Supercross. Well, it was truck racing. And then during the halftime show, they had a dirt bike race. And, man, after I saw the dirt bikes out there, dude, it was just, after that day, my whole life changed. I wanted to be a dirt bike rider. I dreamed, I slept, I ate everything dirt bikes. Took the next couple years of convincing my dad to get a dirt bike. We got into BMX because that was the next best thing to dirt bikes. I got heavily into BMX. That was my life. Did the whole BMX racing, but dirt bikes was the main goal. And then I got my first dirt bike, started racing, doing that whole thing, and then Crusty Demons of Dirt. It was this dirt bike movie. Before that, motocross was a very, everybody had their shirts tucked in, everybody, just following the rules. It was just a very, I don't know the word to say about it. It was just racing was a very goody good racing. I don't know what.
Stiff?
Stiff, I guess.
Square?
So Crusty Demons
Square?
of Dirt, yeah, exactly. Square, dude. So Crusty Demons of Dirt, that movie came out, and it was everything opposite. Tattoos, chicks, partying, just jumping huge on dirt bikes. After I saw that movie, that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be those guys. But when that movie came out, there was no such thing as freestyle motocross. And then, just started going out, started free riding, started just going for the big jumps. At the dirt bike races, I would, try and come in dead last, but I'd find the biggest jump where the most people were standing by the biggest jump and just start showboating, start doing tricks, and then kind of got a little name for that. And then the very first freestyle contest in 1998 in Costa Mesa was formed. And one of my buddies... That
was the first freestyle contest in 1998?
Well, actually, it was Vegas like a year before that, I believe in 92. But the 1998 one was the very first one with wood ramps. It was the first organized freestyle contest. And I kind of had this name for always going to the track, doing the biggest jumps. The track promoters would have me come out during national anthem and do some tricks. So I kind of had a name for that. And some dude came to Steel, got me invited to this contest, and that's kind of where it all started, man. And that was the birth of freestyle motocross. After that, it blew up overnight, man. Every single week was a new show, and it was, nobody's ever seen this. So, like I said, I was there at the right time, and I was one of the 15 guys that were doing these shows, and that's just kind of where it started, man. So, I think I was 15 years old. I started doing homeschooling, and, dude, every week I was making great money, traveling the world, and it just blew up overnight, man. It was crazy.
You know what? That's awesome, and it reminds me a lot of BMX, because that's how BMX was. BMX was square, stiff, and we would do tricks in the parking lot at the races, not organized or considered like a, sport or whatever. And so it was a spawn of racing. That sounds like that's really similar to how freestyle motocross was.
You were, dude, I looked up to big time, dude, because, back then there wasn't that many dudes with tattoos and just...
Oh, me? Oh, you're talking about me?
Yeah, I'm talking about you and Mike Metzger. You guys were the guys that I truly looked up to for having this rad personality and just kind of going, kind of against the grain and just having your own personality and just being, rad on and off the bike. But yeah, you and Mike Metzger were definitely two of the dudes I really looked up to, and I really just wanted to be like you guys when I grew up, man. So yeah.
Oh, man, thanks, dude. You're awesome.
Yeah,
You're awesome. No, well, hey, you know what? That's what we're here to do. We're here to inspire people. You know what I mean? And we're here to get people to what we can share is what we can give to people to motivate them. And you motivated a lot of people. When freestyle motocross took off, you were still in school? You were homeschooling at the time?
Yeah, 10th grade, actually 9th grade, started doing homeschooling. In 10th grade, kind of fuzzy, but I kind of just fizzled out of it. I think I was making really good money in travel, and then I just stopped going. And, dude, I think for a lot of motocross dudes, that happened a lot. I think you're in this bubble where I don't think you're not looking in the future what's going to happen after riding. It's just, dude, just filming, doing commercials, making money, just, so I pretty much dropped out of school and just really pursued this all the way. I don't really recommend that to anybody, but I was really just living in the moment, man. And yeah, so I dropped out and
Hey, you know what? You followed your dreams, and yeah, I agree with you. I wouldn't recommend anybody dropping out of school, but there have been some cases of people that have been successful doing what they're doing, and we all live and learn. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. I think a lot of action sports, it's a big deal, man. And like, just depression and, drug addiction, all this, because all these extreme athletes and even athletes, dude, you do this at such a young age, and that's all you know, that's all you think about, that's just your whole life. But, a lot of these guys, you don't think what's going to happen after this career is done, and that really happened to me. I've seen a lot of guys really go down a dark path because once it ends and you got to face life, and when the music stops, dude, it's a very big pill to swallow, man, because, like for me, I dropped out of school, didn't really have an education. I was a huge name, making great money, but, dude, when that stops, what do you do? And this goes along with a lot of athletes. Like, what do you do, It's a tough one, man.
Well, it is. And anybody out there that's an athlete, I always say, or I think in anything, you got to do more than one thing. Because, like, if you put all your eggs in one basket and say, okay, I'm a contest rider, so my results are my bread and butter. And when you stop getting those results, then you might lose your bread and butter, right? So it's able to diversify yourself. And I totally get it about, like, the anxiety and the depression and the ups and the downs. I wanted to ask you, when the drug addiction and all the substance abuse came into play.
Well, my parents never drank, never smoked. I was raised in a perfect community. I had a great upbringing. Like, the person I turned into wasn't the kid my parents raised. But at age 15, when, I left the nest and was just traveling the world, and I was a young buck, and I was being around all these, at the time, my heroes. And at that time in freestyle motocross, it wasn't really about training. It wasn't about that. It was mainly just about going big on your bike and partying after. And it felt like the harder you partied, the more recognition you got, So I was just around a crazy, crazy lifestyle, man. And, doing that for 15 years, and after breaking bones, getting, fed pain pills, and then and when you're in that life, it's not like you're going out trying to find the parties, dude. You're getting paid to go to parties, and the drugs and alcohol, everything was coming to you, People would literally pay money to party with you. So it was just always around me. And it just started, just pain pills, and then over time, it was just everyday thing, It's crazy. I don't know how to summarize it, but man, I was just getting used to being on stuff every single day, man. And then, it's crazy how one little drug, even like smoking weed, that turns into Vicodin. And then once you're so used to Vicodin, they don't work anymore. You go to oxys, and then once the oxys don't work, you go to heroin. And, it's just that, like, happening in the span of 15 years of living this crazy Motley Crue lifestyle. It's got addicted, man. I don't know, and it got really, really, really bad, And then, like, at the time, I would like to say when the backflip came about, that took out a lot of people in freestyle motocross, because it's either you stacked up, put your life on the line to do this backflip to even still be able to do these contests, or you didn't. And, like, overnight when that backflip came out, a lot of guys dropped out of the sport, man, and that was a really crazy time in my life. I tried a backflip in the foam pit. It's a long story, but I just didn't want to go that route.
But you said you tried one. How did it turn out?
I knew I had to really do this to, like, really stay in the game. And I went to Nate Adams' house, and dude, that was a scary day, man. That foam pit, it's not like Chuck E. Cheese, man. When you're like 30 feet there coming down on a 200-pound motorcycle, dude, it's crazy. So anyways, I did one on a 110, did it good. Did it on my big bike. I did them. I did like 5 good ones. But the last one, I went upside down, and for some reason I let go, and I went in the foam pit, and the bike landed on me. Dude, I was like 15 feet in the foam, and that foam, you can't move at all, man. Like, you're stuck there. I'm definitely claustrophobic, always have been. But, dude, that bike landed on me. I couldn't move for about 15 minutes. Pitch black, gas was coming down in my helmet. Dude, it's so scary, dude, because the crane has to get your bike, and then they got to dig you out, and you can't move like an inch. And after that, I'm like, dude, I'm done. I'm never going to do that again in my life. So, that's when I started. I wanted to become the dude known for going for the big jump. So I was going out there trying to find the biggest jumps that nobody would do, but that really wasn't paying the bills. I got some cool, movie parts and that, but I was just trying to survive at that time. And at that time, drugs were really. At that time, I was really addicted to opiates, and that was like the number one love in my life. So I wasn't really going out trying to practice tricks. I was just doing the tricks I knew just to get by, to get through a normal jump show. And then right when I was done with that, I'd spend all my money on pills, man. And that's when the time Oxycontin, everybody was doing them. The doctors stopped prescribing those, and that's when somebody introduced me to black tar heroin, where they said it's the exact same thing as these opiates you're doing, but it's a lot cheaper. And that was really the downfall of my life, man. I was smoking a gram a day, and I just turned into this guy where I wasn't partying with my buddies, having a good time at after party. I was locked in my room, smoking black tar heroin on tinfoil, stuck in my room with the lights off for weeks at a time, dude. It was disgusting. It was when I had a fresh sack, it felt like Christmas.
Right.
I was the happiest dude ever, and then when I didn't, I wanted to die, and it was just every single day. It became a full-time job, I was trading all my medals, trading all my helmets, trading everything I had to get.
Wait, you traded your medals too?
I traded everything, dude. If I would have traded my dog. It's just the addiction at that point just totally took over me and turned me into like the devil, man. It was crazy.
What was your point where you hit the very rock bottom where you said, dude, I've had enough? I
don't even think I ever found that point where I said I want to change my life and get sober, and that was the scary part, dude. I had an intervention. I've had many interventions. I've crashed my trucks. I've had 3 DUIs. The last month of my addiction was the worst month of my life, man, where I completely traded everything I've ever accomplished to get opiates, black tar heroin, and that was like what I needed just to wake up every morning. I wasn't even getting high. I just needed it to live, to breathe. So anyways, after I traded everything, I had nothing. I had a house. I lost that condo, lost that apartment, lost that. Now I'm renting a room off some crazy chick. It was just crazy how just my life was continually going downhill. So anyways, this is a lot of people might think I'm crazy, man. But so anyways, I got into dust off, dude. This is after I didn't have money.
You got into what?
Yeah. Dust off. Computer cleaner.
Okay. Oh, shoot. Okay.
Huffing. It's like nitrous. Anyways, I figured out that I couldn't get the money to get the good stuff I needed. So I started going into Best Buy and Target and huffing computer cleaner, dude. I remember seeing this chick on intervention years back, tripping, how the hell is this chick that demented where she's on this stuff, huffing computer cleaner? And I was this kid that, had a dream of becoming a pro dirt bike rider, had a great family. I accomplished all my goals, and now I'm stuck in a room huffing computer cleaner till I passed out, and I'm going back to Target stealing it because I don't even have $4.99 to buy it, and I've never stolen anything in my life. It turned me into a devil, dude. And so I did this computer cleaner. I was heavily addicted to that for a month because it got me so high where it was almost I forgot about being high on opiates. It just got me out of reality, man. It got me out of all the problems I've had, what's going on in my life. So anyways, dude, I was going down to sign a contract with Metal Militia, which that'd be a big deal for a lot of people. I was puffing computer cleaner all the way down there, stopped at a Best Buy a couple times. I'm going to drive down there to get it. On the way home, the last thing I remember, I went into a Target, stole computer cleaner. I was in my car huffing that shit, man. And this is it's just really crazy. There's so much more to this story, how just what led me to this dark time in my life. But the next thing I knew, dude, my whole front of my truck was smashed in. There was smoke. I was bleeding. I looked behind me. I guess I sideswiped 5 cars, and I was in the center of an intersection. I slammed straight into a semi because I
Damn.
passed out in my truck on the dust off, dude. And
Wow, dude.
it's crazy, dude. And you know, like, I talk about this, but I feel everything right now, how I'm trying to help people and just trying to, it's just like,
Right.
I feel like I have to do so much stuff to repay all the people I could have killed there. You know, it's
Yeah,
so disgusting.
totally.
You know, the first thing I did when I got out of that car is, instead of seeing if everybody was all right, I wanted to go in the back of my truck to see if I had another can of dust off. That's where addiction got me to that level, where it wasn't me. It like took over me, dude. And
Wow.
I got arrested. I went to Twin Towers Jail in L.A. I'm not made for jail, man. Like, not one bit. But I was so happy being in that jail because I just wanted to die. I didn't want to live anymore. I didn't know how. I didn't even, and even at that time, I didn't even think about getting sober. That didn't even cross my mind. I was just thinking, dude, when I get out, how am I going to get more drugs or dust off to continue my life, dude? Like, I thought my goal was, like, I'm going to get this dust off for drugs the rest of my life, and I'll be fine. That's what my mentality was at that time in my head. So anyways, my dad and my sister bailed me out. It was a really emotional ride because they knew how sick I was. You know, I was living in Temecula at the time, a couple hours away, and as an addict, you're very good at lying. So I was always telling them I'm doing good. When I was like withdrawing, I was just telling them I had the flu. And this time they knew how serious it was. And then, you know, after that, I went back to my dad's house, and I remember that whole week at my dad's house, just like everything going on in my head, like how I'm 30 years old with nothing to my name at all. I'm back in my room that I grew up in my dad's house with nothing to my name when I had it all. And at this time in that week, my sister, my dad, my mom, they were trying to get me into rehab. And, yeah, so the next week, my dad took me to rehab, dude, and it was the scariest time of my life. And it was
What year was that? What year?
That was 2012, January 17th, 2012, man. And, yeah, I went there, detoxed, and the first night in rehab, dude, it was just crazy. How did I end up here? How the hell did I end up here? And, like, everything I caught, you know, I was in there, but knowing, like, I just got my third DUI. I owe so many people money. I lost everything. Everybody hates me. Everybody knows how horrible of a person I became. You know, but, dude, so anyways, I was in detox for a week. I went to rehab for 30 days. Every single day in that rehab, it was, like, the best days of my life, dude. I realized it was like a week in, and I realized I woke up and I don't have anything in my system, and dude, I'm smiling again. It's so crazy because like all my senses came back. I had emotions. The sky was bluer, the grass was greener. I started to laugh again. You know, I never like laughed at a joke or just anything, having fun with buddies I met in like 10 years, you know?
Right.
It was crazy. Everything came back. So yeah, I graduated, stayed there for 30 days, and dude, on my own will, I stayed. I wanted to stay in sober living for another 3 months that I wanted to do on my own. And, dude, my life, you know, it was crazy. I still had nothing to my name at that time, dude. I still had no idea what I was going to do. I had nowhere to live. It was just really one day at a time. And then I reached out to Ashley, my now wife. We were talking before I went into rehab over the phone. And then, yeah, she picked me up in sober living. It was really hard to convince her to come and pick up some dude at sober living, but luckily we talked before she knew she knew about me. And yeah, dude, we went on a date, we started hanging out, and then I moved in with her.
Right.
Things started happening, dude. But
Yeah.
then, you know, I was just so happy. Just every day was just like a gift. And then, yeah, I mean, we can go on forever, but my buddy got me a job printing T-shirts, and this is like, that's a big thing in sobriety, like after you get sober, is like you got to put your ego down. Because I'm used to getting paid to show up, sign autographs, host parties, jump in front of thousands. But now I had to put my ego down. Now I'm printing shirts for $9 an hour. I had a smile on my face, dude. I had to stay at my buddy's parents' house. I had to ride his mountain bike 6 miles to go print shirts. I had a smile on my face the whole time.
Was that hard for you
Yep.
in the beginning? Was that hard to swallow?
No, it wasn't, dude. And that's like the biggest thing. What I learned and what I'm telling people now is like, dude, I had to put my ego down, dude. Like, I was just so happy that I was sober. Like every day was like something hit me, because I know it takes some people a lot of times to go to rehab. It takes them numerous times. This time, like I came out, I was just so pumped, because I was waking up feeling just as good as when I had the best drugs in my system, dude. Like everything was so rad in my life. And I printed shirts for about a year, and then people started to see I was doing good. Good things started falling in my laps. I had new opportunities, and 6.5 years later, where I'm at now, dude, I got everything back in my life. I had to work hard to get it, but I think it's because, me just preaching about sobriety, helping others where I was at, that's been helping me a lot. And it just good magic shit happens, dude, when you make sobriety number one. Like,
right.
Just so many good things are happening in my life, dude. And I feel like I can write a book about just all the crazy things that have happened in my life.
You
I
should.
have no more problems in my life, dude. I have no more issues, dude. Like, it's crazy. When you take drugs and alcohol out of your life, there's really, dude, life is pretty damn easy, dude. Like, there's just not a whole, it really is, dude. So, yeah, man, I got my life back and I'm happy.
You're my idol now. The tables have turned.
Dude, that means,
yeah.
That means a lot, dude.
I'm so proud of you,
for
bro.
A long time, dude, and,
I remember that one time we were in Vegas and we were sharing a hotel room and we were talking, and I had a sense, because see, I knew you, but see, for me, I've never done drugs, okay? So a lot of people have always thought that I have, but I never have, but I've been cool with everybody, so people are going to think whatever they're going to think. And I had a sense that you were going through something, but I didn't know, and that was a few years before this happened.
That trip, I remember I brought like 30 OxyContins with me, dude. After that talk, I went in the bathroom to snort them. But like, when you're that addicted to drugs, I could get away. Like, a lot of people didn't know. They probably thought I was on drugs, but like, you get so good at hiding it. And, like,
of course. You become a professional liar is what you become. Yeah.
Exactly. And that was a big habit I had to break, just all the bullshitting, dude. Because when you're addicted, that's like, yeah, you just become a professional liar. And I remember that. I remember us talking in that hotel room, dude. I remember that very clear as day, man.
I'm super proud of you. Awesome. All I could say is it's awesome. Like, you faced yourself, you changed yourself, you got past the ego, you got past the shame, you got past the blame, you got past all this stuff, and focus in your life changes. The vibration has changed. And it's grown into like a number of great things. Talk to me about SKVI.
Yeah, SKVI started that. Like 2 years out of rehab, man. My buddy Jeff, just realized, dude, I'm sober. Let's start a company. So yeah, we started SKVI Underwear, and that's been growing. Just another little side deal I got. I got a clothing company, underwear company, and that's just another thing I love to do. Like, why not pursue a business? And
your clothing company is?
SMBG Clothing. It started as Scumbag. I always wanted when I was in my drug days, I always wanted to do something to use like Scummy, my nickname. So we started that as Scumbag Clothing. And then as like a couple years down the road, I realized, dude, maybe I don't really want to portray Scumbag because, I want kids and adults to wear it. So we changed it to SMBG. So we came up with a motto, strong motivation brings glory. So yeah, so now like kids and my dad can wear it now instead of rocking a Scumbag shirt. So
wait, what does it stand for? You say that again? Strong what?
Strong motivation brings glory.
Awesome, dude. I like that.
Yeah, we got a couple other sayings for it too. But yeah, I just wanted to change it up, make it a little bit more kid and family friendly. So yeah, that's just keeping me busy. I took over my dad's fire extinguisher business out of rehab. He got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and that was like the gnarliest thing ever. Yeah, it's just crazy how it happened after rehab. Because I feel like if that happened before rehab, I might have been the one stealing his pain pills, dude. As sick as that sounds, that's where my addiction led me to. And my dad's divorced, so I was there to help him. Cancer is a very gnarly thing, man. And yeah, he beat that. But in the time when he was really going through it, he had a fire extinguisher business he had for 35 years, and I had to get licensed pretty much overnight. And I took that over, and yeah, so that's my main gig. And yeah, it's crazy.
That's amazing. But you also have are you still hosting the Recovery Today show?
Yeah, Recovery Today magazine. It's they reached out to me after seeing like all my sobriety posts, and it's actually Sober Recovery. They own a bunch of rehab centers, and then they have a sobriety-based magazine, and they have me come in and bring on guests. I know you came on a few months back, which
Yeah.
that was an amazing story. And yeah, it's crazy. It was amazing to me that I didn't know that you never really touched drugs or alcohol, you know? And it's crazy how you really can't judge a book by its cover. And your story's amazing, man. Like, I never understood people like you, dude. Like, we did Warped Tour together many years. And, like, how do you stay in a tour bus and you got, like, all the chicks you want to do? You're yelling in front of thousands. How do you, like, go back and not want to, like, get totally thrashed, dude?
You know
like,
why?
I get it. But,
you know why?
I'm an
Because
addict,
no, because I think it's opposite. Like you said, you were born and raised in a good family and good neighborhood, and you had a great life. On the flip side, me, and so I saw a lot of things through my family and through what they were doing, and I said, I never want to be like that. I want to be better. So it's kind of like really just your perception of how you're raised. You're either the apple's gonna not fall far from the tree, or it's gonna be
I hear that a lot, yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I just kind of got the, well, I guess I do know. I get the high from riding, and, I think that we all have things that we have to face. I have my own things that I've had to face. But, yeah, I just never got involved with it. But I wanted to say that, or I wanted to let everybody know that now you're doing your own podcast too, right?
Yeah, it's just another way for me to spread the message and just to share. When I was trying to get sober, I didn't have, like, Nicky Six was a dude I really looked up to, and I really grabbed onto him.
Right.
He showed that, like, dude, he was sober, and, like, he still had a rad life, and, like, I just don't think in this world there's not enough of that. So it's just a way for me to bring on other people that I know with names and normal people that have got their life back from being sober, and, dude, they still go out to bars, they still go to parties, they have these rad lives, but they don't have drugs or alcohol in their system. So I'm just trying to spread awareness, showing people that it can be done. And yeah, so I started a podcast, a YouTube channel, and it's crazy. A lot of people, like the messages I get of people just saying, they listen to that, they hold on to that when they think they want to use, they listen to it. So, my biggest thing out of rehab, I just said, dude, I survived. I didn't kill anybody. I didn't kill myself. Like, for the rest of my life, I'm going to try and help as many people as I can that were in the same position I was at, because, dude, you can still have a badass life with zero drugs and zero alcohol in your system. And, but when you're in the thick of it, you don't think that, I get so many people, they want to get sober, but they're like, dude, I don't know how I'm going to go out and have fun, but dude, it's so possible. And, dude, I love going to bars now, dude. You see, like, all the bullshit, man. When everyone's wasted, like, it's all like, oh, dude, I love you, bro. Oh, dude, I got your bag. Like, it's all bullshit, dude. You can really tell somebody when you're talking to somebody, when they're 100% sober, you can trust them. But, like, it's just funny sitting back in clubs and watching everything.
Yeah, what always cracked me up at clubs is when people would be like, yo, can I get you a beer? And, I mean, go out, I have a couple beers. I'd be like, sure, I'll have a beer. And then they go, let's do a shot. Come on, let's do a shot. And I'd be like, no, I'm cool. Come on, dude. Come on, let's do a shot. And I'd be like, no. And it's like,
you're my boy.
I let their whole life down by not accepting their shot. Oh, man, what am I going to do now? And I'm like, I don't want to go down that road, bro. Like a beer or two, I'm chilling right now. I'm cool. But you're trying to go overboard, bro.
Dude,
it's always
funny.
It's always funny. But you inspire a lot of people, man. I'm telling you, you're inspiring me right now. I'm going to go out and ride and get hyped up right now. What is your podcast, the name of your podcast, where people can get it? Obviously, iTunes, right?
Yeah, iTunes, Google Play. It's just called Talking Sobriety. Yeah, that's just Talking Sobriety. And, yeah, it's got a lot of cool guests. I just had Caleb Wyatt. And he's, you're not supposed to tell other people about, it's like, that's what AA is. It's anonymous. But he wanted me to tell his story because he really wants, like, everybody, like, all eyes on him. So he's got a lot of pressure to change his life. Caleb Wyatt was the first dude to ever do a backflip on a dirt bike, dude. He got 2 X Games gold medals back in the day, dude. Do you remember?
Oh, wait. I'm trying to... Did he have, like, a kind of a short-lived career?
Short-lived career, yeah. He was actually the first dude to land right out of a backflip after Terry Hart did one at Gravity Games. And, dude, he was on top of the game back back in the day. Yeah, Winter X Games gold medalist.
I remember now. Yes.
Anyways, his friend reached out to me like a month ago, dude, and said, dude, you need to get a hold of Caleb, dude. He's homeless. He's not doing good. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, I haven't talked to Caleb in so long. Dude, I got a hold of him. Dude, apparently he's been homeless, man, for like years, and it's just crazy to see. He got into heroin, same deal as me. Like, he broke a lot of bones, got addicted to pain pills, that turned into heroin. Same story as mine and a lot of other people. Dude, he became homeless. He's got nothing to his name, dude. And like, I reached out to him, and he's like, dude, I want help so bad, dude. I want to tell my story. I told him about my podcast. He's like, I want to go on there and tell my story so like people know I'm still alive, and so I have, you know, pressure to get my life turned around so everybody knows it. So I'm just going to call myself out that I want to change my life, and everybody's going to hear me say that. So anyways, he did my podcast. After that, you know, his son reached out to me, and he's got a 12-year-old son, 13, whatever, and his son called me. It was really emotional, saying, dude, you're like the first dude that really has reached out to my dad to really try and turn him around. And after he did that podcast, that sparked something in him that he really wants to change his life. So anyways, I've been talking to Caleb every day, and actually today, he's flying. I got my buddy that owns a rehab. He kind of owed me a favor. He scholarshiped him. So Caleb White is going to rehab today after the podcast he did that like kind of gave him that motivation, that kick in the butt. So yeah, he's going to rehab today, dude. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty badass. So I hope he gets his shit back, and it looks like he's on the right direction. And I know his son's really pumped. So yeah, man, it's I hope he's gonna turn it around.
By you turning around, he's turning around his life. And there's probably many more other people that have looked up to you that have said, okay, I had these issues, I'm going to get sober, and they're looking to you and what you're doing. I think you're doing a great service to society.
Yeah, I'm trying my hardest, dude. That means a lot, Rick. Thank you, buddy. And yeah, likewise, dude. You're out there killing it. And yeah, man, I'm pumped to be doing it with you, buddy.
Instagrams, websites you want to plug right now, bro?
Just mainly Instagram. It's Colin with one L _Scummy _Morrison. Kind of, you see everything I got going on that. So that's about it.
Well, dude, thanks for your time. Anyone out there, follow Colin. If you're having any issues with any type of substance abuse, you should listen to his podcast.
Yeah, just reach out to me if anybody has any issues. Just DM me your phone number, whatever, and you know, I get back to everybody, and yeah, try and help you out, man.
Much love, brother. I hope you have a great day. I'm telling you, you're my idol now.
That means a lot, dude. 'Cause you're my idol. So this is like we need to take each other out to dinner or something sometime.
Yeah, let's do it, brother. Well, have a rad day, dude. Thanks a lot, and thanks to the listeners for listening.
Thank you guys later, man.
Later, bro.